Hello everyone, good morning. Today I want to walk around my YouTube room. Well, we'll call it that. I don't have a fancy podcast room like everybody else on YouTube that's been set up like a nice corner with things and all nice things everywhere. But I do have one room in the house that I can use for YouTubing. I'm renovating a house by myself that needed to be torn down, so you're just gonna have to bear with me. So I'll walk you around my room, how I do it, and what I've been reading lately. So here's my desk. As you can see, I like highlighters. They help me keep everything in line. My to-do list, can't live without that. This is my YouTube video idea list. So the ones that have been highlighted are completed videos. The ones that haven't are mostly questions people have asked me through email. They want me to discuss a few things a bit better, and I'm a big believer in manifestation, and you become what you think about, so I'm manifesting that. I also included a few quotes from Earl Nightingale here and there. Do the thing and you will have the thing. Brilliant. Another one, you become what you think about. Earl Nightingale. Brilliant. So I am relearning guitar after stroke. I was quite good at guitar, but I'm relearning. So there's my trusty Les Paul. That's an old, I think it's an 85 Stratocaster. I love that thing. It's got a really thin neck, really easy to play. That's probably a 20-year-old Fender Deluxe. My old banker's lamp I bought from a bank for $50. The original paneling, because I'm keeping the house period correct, which is painful because I'm having to source all this trim and paneling and tools that all the tradies are using while they're here. Milo, baby. Here's a picture of the pub that my son and I used to walk to every day when he was about 2. So there's him with his baby Chino. Rubbish bin. I drink a lot of coffee, probably too much. There's the heritage paints that I'm needing to use to keep the house period correct. And I thought I'd show you what I've read over the last probably 12 months. So The Secret, that should be read once a year. That's a really good book about becoming what you think about. If you want to go into Buddhism or anything like that, that's a really good book. I've read that twice, cover to cover. This is an old psychology textbook I got from the op shop for like a couple of dollars. I read that cover to cover. That was brilliant. I put these two together because everybody's read Sapiens and I've read it about 3 times. I absolutely love it. That's just an old version of Sapiens. Another book on The Greatest Secret, The Honeymoon Effect. That's a brilliant biological explanation of what happens when you fall in love with somebody. The Defiant Child, that's brilliant if you've got a terrible 2. That's a medical textbook from the op shop for a couple of dollars. That's another brilliant book. This is one of my favourite books. It's a GP or a physician's desk reference. So before the internet, every physician or GP had a desk reference, and this was I think $5 from a second-hand bookshop. I read it cover to cover. Really fascinating. There's one point that I made mention on child raising that I thought I'd raise. My son actually used to get me to read this to him before bed. It used to help him fall asleep. Sticky note. So this is written in 1991 from a GP for GPs about childhood. The years from 2 to adolescent are mostly taken up with growing, being educated, learning to interact with family and society, and by large. By the time children are 5 years old and are ready to start school, most of their behaviour has settled down. He goes on about kids' bedtime. And it's really interesting because my son, when he was about 3, he used to say, "Daddy, what's that doctor book about telling kids to go to bed?" So he used to ask me to read him this passage, which I'll read you right now. Some children start to dislike sleep and to rebel against going to bed. Children are generally more amenable to an early bedtime if a regular routine is adhered to, and that there is no question that bedtime has arrived. So my 3-year-old wanted me to read that to him before bed. because he knew it was written from a doctor, and it's doctors telling kids to go to bed, so there is no question that bedtime has arrived. Brilliant book, $5. I learnt a lot from this. Brilliant book. Milo tearing apart his bed. Some other books. That's the first book I read post-stroke. That was absolutely brilliant. Think and Grow Rich, brilliant. Napoleon Hill. That's one of Tony's first books, and it's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely loved it. I'm most of the way through this. This book's about planned obsolescence, so that should be a video in itself. Now, The Moral Landscape, I was halfway through that when I had the stroke. So when people say, oh, you're different after the stroke, am I really? Because I was halfway through that book while I had the stroke. So I was already heading in this direction. The guitar I bought when I was 15 and learned to play on. 12 Rules for Life, that's never far from me. This is a 400-page thesis, the first one I've ever read, on moving it or losing it. It's very chewy. I'm halfway through the abstract. It's very, very chewy, but I'm going to get through it because I really want to read a thesis and I'd love to write one day. Thanks for listening, everybody. Let me know what you think. Drop me an email. Get me on TikTok. If you want some personal help, I'm prepared to Zoom out and help you. If you've had a stroke or if your husband's had a stroke and you want to contact me, I can talk to the wives of people that have had strokes. The children, I'm brilliant with the children that have had, their dads have had a stroke or their mums have had a stroke. So reach out to me. I will get back to you. Thanks, guys.